Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back once again to another Fallout 4 settlement build. Today we're going to be checking out this boxcar, or group of boxcars I should say, that have been sort of put together to form a hotel. So hopefully you guys enjoy what you see, and as always, all the mods I'm using are going to be listed down in the description. But anyways guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a closer look. Alright guys, so like we usually do, we'll start by checking out the outside of the build, and then after we're done doing that, we'll go ahead and move on inside, which I think in this case is the more exciting out of the two areas. But out here you'll notice, as the branch shadows kind of glitch around, the outside definitely has a much larger deck than most of the other ones do, and that's just really because I wanted a bunch of lounge space out here. So no matter how long these, I guess, residents, you could call them, planned on staying, they could always just come out and kick their feet up and relax if they wanted to, and enjoy the fresh radioactive air. But yeah, outside here you'll see there is a sign just kind of paying tribute to Novak from New Vegas, but it really stands for no vacancy, since in this case all the rooms are actually full, or at least that's how I imagine them being. And there's also a few signs. This big one up here that says room for rent, or rooms for rent I should say. I'm not too sure if I like it there. This is the same one we used on our old hotel that we did way back when, and even back then I really didn't care too much for it. You know, if I had to pick something else, I would definitely rather have the Hotel Rexford sign, or at least just the hotel portion of it. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this or not. That being said, without it, it also looks a bit weird just being completely flat up there. So I'm not really sure what to do, but if you guys have any ideas or advice for other things I could try, I'd love to hear them. But I think that's all that we can really see from out here. Like usual, the back's pretty empty. In fact, in this case, it doesn't even have a door to get in. Oh, and that's one other thing that's different about this one, is the front, instead of it being a counter like the other three we've done, it's just a standard doorway to get inside. And before it was just completely open, so to sort of cut it in half, I put in the actual boxcar door and also the curtain, just to give everyone inside a bit more privacy. But like I was saying, out here on the deck, it's really just a bunch of lounge space and just area to eat or drink and even just converse with other wastelanders. So you'll see there's 2 meals on this one and some drinks just to fill up some space and really give it some context. Also to fill up empty space and just provide some surface to throw more drinks on. We've got some barrels kind of stacked up, and other than that, there's some more crap on the table that just serves as decoration and adds a bit more liveliness to the build. So now that we've gotten a good look at the outside, we'll go ahead and move on indoors and check this place out. And I think the first thing I want to point out is really just how different it looks while the doors are all closed to each of the rooms versus while they're open. You'll see, as of now, it almost looks like pretty much each of our other boxcars that we've already done. I mean, it's really simple. It's pretty much just one straight line, although when we go ahead and open each of them up, it really opens up the whole build and also adds quite a bit more light, as you'll see. Before it was really just dark and blue with a few hints of orange, but now it really has some whites and yellows kind of pouring out. And since this is such a big build, especially compared to the other boxcars, I think we'll go ahead and start on this end and then just kind of end up working our way over as we see fit. But this is basically just the check-in area where you'd buy your key for each of the rooms and obviously pay the hotel owner. And there's a few more decorations in the back, and I think the most important one might be the lockers, since they just kind of represent a safer place to store any super valuable items, since at least the way I see it, the rooms aren't really that secure. In fact, I don't even think you'd need a key to open them. You just kind of pull these doors to the side and really, you're free to access whatever the hell you want. But this room, what I've done to it, and by the way, I tried to make each room as different as possible and just tried to give it almost a different theme for each one. So this one, at least the way I pictured it, it was supposed to belong to the owner, so I guess really the only 2 ones you could rent are the two in the back. So this is the owner's room, and that's why it's the only one with the terminal, and also some other items like the towels and just various cleaning supplies, and it's even got its very own big giant safe. And judging by the flag, I'm sure you could guess that the owner of this place might be a pretty big Minutemen supporter. But anyways, moving further down the line, you'll see I've tried to really fill up this hallway and make it quite a bit less open. So you'll see we have a couple more counter spaces. This one here is just more so for decorative items, like the radio and lamp. And then the table here is more so just another location to kick back and relax and possibly have a drink with a friend. And that's pretty much what I've tried to portray here. There's also some more posters and even little room numbers to decorate the wall. And then if we move further down, I guess we'll start with room number 2. You'll see maybe a journalist or someone of that sort is possibly staying in this room, and that's why the typewriter's there, and also a note or two. And there's also some more decorations on the walls. You can see we even have a shelf with some clothes on it. Some more storage down here, and then moving on to room number 3. This is just your sort of general room, so it's not really got any specific style, but it still has a decent amount of decorations and other items just to kind of bring it to life. And then last but certainly not least, we do have a nice sitting area in the back, which is basically just a nice spot to kick back, relax, and watch some TV that never changes channels. And we've even got some games here for the kids who might possibly stay here. And I tried sort of separating this room as best I could from the rest of the boxcar by throwing in some barrels. And I don't know if they did a great job, but they at least helped out a little bit in terms of giving this place some more privacy than it previously had. And one other thing you really want to try and do when building inside these boxcars is not only breaking them up with walls such as these, but also try breaking up the color, because prior to this, the whole thing was just really bright orange, bland, and everything just sort of blended together. And at least for me, that was really not how I wanted it. So try and add as many things to the walls to break up the color and just overall plainness. And one other thing that's really good at doing that, aside from posters and these little things here, are these colored lights, because they, as you can see here, completely change the orange color to a nice blue or whatever you end up switching the light color to. So it's definitely not a necessary change, but it's always something I try and do. But honestly, I'd say that's pretty much everything for the hotel. So yeah, guys, like I said, that'll pretty much do it for today. Feel free to let me know what you thought of the build, whether it be good or bad. Personally, this may be one of my least favorite exteriors out of the boxcars, but strangely enough, it's actually one of my favorite interiors. So I'm curious to hear your guys' opinions of it. And depending on those, maybe I'll have to change a few things up here and there. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. Like I said, hopefully you did enjoy the build. And as always, I will see you in the next one.